Telling stories and singing songs. That's my job description as a priest. Telling stories and singing songs, that's your job description as church. It's what we do when we get together. We tell stories and we sing songs. So I am combining them today for our picnic Sunday. I have a song that is a story. Actually, two songs that are two stories. The first song is by Don Francisco, and it tells the story of the first Easter day from the viewpoint of the Apostle Peter. The second song is one I wrote, and it's about my experience in Central America in 1988. Back then, I was part of a church delegation from the Diocese of Chicago, and we visited church people caught in the middle of the dirty little wars going on in the region at that time. Now, I've never been to Israel, never been to the Holy Land, but I felt like I was in ancient Palestine on that trip to El Salvador. I felt like any minute Jesus could walk up the dusty road and his raggedy disciples would be walking along behind him. The church people we met there were very poor, but they were very generous and they were very full of faith. Now, in the Episcopal Church, in the baptismal service, as we had last Sunday, there is a question. Will you seek and serve Christ in all persons? More than any other time in my life, on that pilgrimage in 1988, I got it. I felt it. I felt like I saw Jesus hidden in the people of El Salvador. So here are the two songs, and they are two stories. The story of the first Easter and the story of Jesus walking around today. The gates and doors were barred, and all the windows fastened down. I spent the night in sleeplessness and rose at every sound, half in fear of the darkness, half in fear of the day would find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. And then just before the sunrise, I heard something at the wall. The gates began to rattle and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window and looked down to the street, expecting swords and torches and the sound of soldiers' feet. But there was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. John stood there beside me as she told us where she'd been. She said, they've moved him in the night, none of us knows where. The stone's been rolled away and now his body is not there. So we both ran for the garden, and then John ran on ahead. We found the stone and the empty tomb just the way that Mary said. But the winding sheet they'd wrapped him in was just an empty shell. And how or where they'd taken him was more than I could tell. Well, something strange had happened there, just what I did not know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation could not lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen them crucify him, then I saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything I'd promised him just added to my shame. When at last it came to choices, I denied I knew his name. So even if he was alive, it would not be the same. And then suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light that shone from everywhere drove shadows from the room. Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide. And I fell down on my knees, and I clung to him and I cried. He raised me to my feet, and as I looked into his eyes, love was shining out from them like sunlight from the skies. Guilt and my confusion disappeared in sweet release. And every fear I'd ever had melted into peace. He's alive, he's alive, he's alive, and I'm forgiven. Heaven's gates are open wide. He's alive, he's alive, he's alive, and I'm forgiven. Heaven's gates are open wide. He's alive. Jesus, we see you in the eyes of your poor. You still walk the dusty hills and live close to the land, hidden from the ones who own the guns and wars and lies. Your suffering continues, and the nail still wounds your hand. Lord, have mercy. Christ, have mercy. Lord, have mercy on us all. There you are, a young boy with 2 bullets in his legs. Or there you are, a mother who has lost all of her sons. The homeless and the hungry and the hopeless and the sick. Jesus, we can always see you in these precious ones. Lord, have mercy. Christ, have mercy. Lord, have mercy on us all. The troubles of your people fill your heart with grief and love. We can see your suffering that pierces like a knife. Give us hope that pain and death are not the only truth. Jesus, friend and brother, show your resurrection light. Lord, have mercy. Christ, have mercy. Lord, have mercy on us all. Have mercy on us all. He's alive, and he's walking around in the people around you. Amen. Let's turn to